All right, so just did my first unboxing of the things that the Sonoran Institute has sent me for my first class. You guys got to take a look at the very nice cleaning kit that they sent me. Oh, God. Super happy about that. It actually came on a really good day because I just got back from the range. I'm sure you guys can see, had not gotten around to cleaning my pistol after I got back. It's dirty as fuck. So yeah, came at a good time. Of course, weapon safety is always super important. My safety is on and is always on when I'm not using it. Weapon is empty. Magazine is not in the weapon. But here we go. So, I know not exactly the most high class weapon most of you will see. Good old high point brick, but I love it. Shoots super steady, real easy to just hit center mass with every shot. So we're gonna start taking it apart. Now it is a 45 caliber weapon, so let's see here. Trying to make this actually show you guys. I apologize for my incompetency with electronics, but I'm just going to break out some of the toolkit that they sent. Okay. So, one of my only complaints about this gun is the back pin that actually releases the firearms. Top so I can get to the firing chamber is a pain in the ass to get out. In fact, I shall be right back. Sometimes this guy just requires a little bit of tough love. Retaining pin is out. Set that aside. Release the safety. Pull it back to the side slightly, and then it just slides right out. Move that, set that to the side. Boom. Now, this part here does tend to come flying out if you're not paying attention. I made that mistake my first time taking this weapon apart. not fun trying to find that. However, down in there is your firing pin. So we're going to take that out to clean it as well. So let's go ahead. We're going to break out our 45 caliber barrel cleaning brush. I just absolutely love the quality of the kit that they sent. Of course, we have our CLP for when we need that. And they did send, as I showed in that unboxing, some modern Spartan Systems items, which is a carbon destroyer, which is great, and basic and AIT trying to clean M4s in the Army and even cleaning the M16s. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, carbon just gets in there and it gets gunked in so bad, and if it doesn't get cleaned up after using it, it can just be a nightmare. So that is phenomenal. Love it. From what I can tell from reading it, the accuracy oil is essentially similar to CLP. However, perhaps just a slightly upgraded version. I don't know. I look forward to finding out. So, just going to start with this cleaning cloth. Give it a nice wipe down. Great thing about this weapon is it really doesn't get terribly dirty. Obviously, it's always good to clean your weapon after every use, regardless, but it is an extremely reliable weapons system. Got everything just wiped down a little bit. Go ahead and use that barrel brush. Get in there. Rub that nice and clean. And we're just going to grab out one of these. I'm going to use one of the extension. No. Where did the extension go? There's one of the small extensions. Where is So. Thread that through, so we've got one of our barrel cleaners ready. And we're just going to feed that right on through. Just give it a little twist. As you can see, maybe not. There's really not a lot on there. I did put about 100 rounds through this today, so you would expect a little bit more buildup. There is just a little bit in there, but it's not a terribly dirty weapon. Since not much is coming out, I'm just going to go ahead and be done with that. Get the cleaning cloth back out. Make sure I've got everything in here nice and clean. Now, obviously, there was some carbon in there, a little bit of residue. It happens. But that's why I was so happy to get this weapons kit. I am going to use the brush to get in here, knock loose any dust that might have gotten in there. Give it a nice wipe down inside the magazine well as well. I want to get this as clean as I can possibly get it. I'm going to go ahead and give my retention spring a nice little wipe as well. It doesn't get super dirty. In fact, hardly anything ever gets in there, but always good to clean it regardless, so I don't just go losing things on my first use. I'm going to go ahead and put away my barrel brush. And this is really nice. Each one comes with its own little peg. Pop it right down on there, right back into its case, and right back into its slot in the case. So now that we've got everything fairly clean, I am going to take that same cloth from when we were cleaning the barrel, and I am going to give that firing pin a nice gentle wipe with that. I am going to use the same wipe because it is still pretty clean. Have some residue on that side, but this side that was folded in is nice and clean. I'm going to take my CLP and I'm just going to put a little bit of CLP on that rag. And I'm just going to lightly coat firing pin in that CLP. Don't want a lot on there. Too much CLP, you're just gunking up your weapon. And that's not doing anybody any favors. I'm going to slide my firing pin right back down inside. Check my springs. Give them a nice wipe. As you can see, they're fairly dirty. Because this weapon does operate using multiple springs, that work together, I am going to add just a small amount of CLP to the springs. Very, very small amount. Make sure that they still slide very easily, nice and oiled. And we're going to just slide those springs right back down inside. We just want to make sure that the wider spring is still over the narrow spring. Our retaining cap, again, give it a nice little wipe. Make sure it's nice and clean. I'm going to slide that in there. It doesn't need to go in all the way, just because it's going to go into the back of the weapon. And if you don't have it a little bit farther back, it'll just jam up on you while you're trying to get it. I'm going to oil the slide. As with everything, just a very light coating of oil. We want it to move smoothly, but too much CLP is not your friend. Retaining spring right there in the front. Make sure you've got good tension. And I always hold it down and away from me. Find your retaining pin in there. And you're going to just press forward. Seat the weapon. Now that it's nice and firmly there, we're going to try to get that retaining pin in the back end. As you can see, it seats nice and firmly in there, holds the weapon in place. Pull it back, release, make sure it's nice and smooth. Safety's on. Just going to lay that aside. Now the magazine is not one of the moving parts in the weapon, but it does still get dirty. And a dirty magazine will just lead to jams of your weapon, which is never fun, especially if you're on the range and trying to fire and you've got to stop and change your magazine and clean your weapon out because you didn't clean your magazine, so now you've got sand or dirt or just built up grime in there. So you want to make sure that you get your magazine really nicely cleaned out. Perfect. Now, I don't usually store my weapon with the magazine in it, but you want to make sure that it does slide in well. Weapon functions with it in. Safety's on. Weapon is clean. And now we can store it away for use at a later date. All in all, definitely one of the best weapons cleaning kits I've had the pleasure of using. Really wish I had this during basic and AIT. The weapons cleaning kits that we got were garbage. Standard issued garbage, but garbage. This, I know it's a little messy, forgive me. Just beautiful, beautiful cleaning kit. Lots of useful tools. A small kit to go. I mean, it just, everything that you could need is right there in that kit, and it's just phenomenal. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys on the next video.